Yo, what's going on, Strength Society? Welcome to week 8. Today we're going to talk about the fundamentals of strength training and dealing with physical imbalances. All right, first, get into here. We're going to focus on how to deal with imbalances, pain, and injury, and provide some solutions to how to overcome them or how to mitigate those problems. All right, but first, in most cases, pain and injury is due to an unequal strength or size to an opposing muscle group of muscles. When one muscle is weak and the other is overactive, it pulls your body into a bad posture, like rounded shoulders or an excessively arched lower back, which also limits your mobility of your joints and makes certain muscles stiff. Right? These differences in your muscle function can derail your hard work in the gym. Right? So typically, muscle imbalances occur around the areas of your body where it's supposed to be mobile, right? Like your hips, shoulders, and thoracic spine, right? But it can happen pretty much anywhere in your body. All right, so let me show you the little guy here on the graph here. As you can see, his shoulders are rounded forward, his chest are tight, his back is rounded and weak. Therefore, it creates the rolling shoulders. It also tightens up your traps and your neck extensors as well. All right, so that can create a lot of problems. But how do you know if you're dealing with these imbalances, right? So here are a few tests that you can do at home to see if you need some help. All right. So like say if you want to have see if you have any shoulder imbalances, right? So take a shirtless picture of yourself in a side pose. So that way you can see any part of your if you see any part of your upper back or if your shoulders are rounded, then that's usually an indicator that you have rounded shoulders, right? But the one problem for this is that we spend too much time sitting on a computer, right? In which creates, a tight chest and a weak back, right? Which causes our shoulders to roll forward, right? That's usually the underlying issue for rounded shoulders, because we definitely spend way more time on our butts, right, and behind a TV screen or a computer screen. So, but if you still need help and to figure that out, then you're more welcome to bring this picture or post this video in the group, and we can give you a fair analysis of what's going on there and what you can do to fix it. Or maybe from some of the tips that we give you here that can help you along your way to implement and getting you on the road to becoming a bit more mobile and fixing this issue. So the next one is hamstring mobility. It's something easy to do. You can do at home. Just perform a sit and reach test. So basically, you're gonna sit on your butt with your legs closed together out in front of you, and you're gonna come down and reach towards your toes. Right? If you can't reach your toes, then hey, they are tight. And when they're tight, this can create anterior tilt of your pelvis, and can usually a cause of low back pain, right, or low back stiffness or tightness, whatever you want to call it. So definitely that's a pretty easy one to do. Then some of the solutions that we're going to talk about may benefit you to incorporate daily to help with improving your hamstring mobility. All right. But of course, like I said, if you need more of an expert eye, then feel free to share a video or a picture of a picture of you doing one of these two drills, and we can give you good suggestions as to what kind of actions you need to take. All right. So once you determine that you have a muscle imbalance, the next step is to address the issue and begin correcting it. Like I said, take action. But here are a few strategies that you can implement. Right, I'm going to break some of these down a little bit. You can use unilateral exercises, right, which you're going to work on the weaker side and let the weaker side dictate how much or cap what you can do. That way it puts a limit on the right side, so that way you don't continuously strengthen the right side and the left. So for example, if you can only do 10 or 15 reps on the left side, and you want to limit your 10 to 15 reps on the right, even though you can do more on your right. All right. And then also do additional work on the weaker and smaller muscle groups, like, for example, external rotators or your glute medius, or your butt muscle, or fix the underlying problem like mobility and flexibility. So now we're going to go ahead and talk about some of these strategies and what you can do to how it can help you benefit improving just that. So we talk about mobility drills, right? These are a series of active movements where joints and muscles go through a full range of motion, right? Dynamic stretches can be functional and mimic the movement of an activity or sport that you're about to perform. So like a single leg swing For example, can be something you can do if you're about to squat, right? If you're going to do a heavy squat, improve the range of motion and lengthen those muscles while stimulating the muscles themselves. Um, do a front leg swing, so that way you can warm up and get ready for your warm up sets for your squats, right? Or if you're a swimmer, you do some arm circles to get those muscles loose and warmed up, so before you go and do your laps, right? But those are just a few examples that you can implement prior to your workouts. Okay, but mobility drills is a great way to help improve your flexibility as well as strength. And the next one, a popular one, static stretching, right, which involves lengthening the muscles and holding it for a certain period of time, like anywhere from 20 seconds to even up to 2 minutes. I know I got 1 minute, but you can actually hold it for two. All right, so examples will be like a shoulder stretch, a hamstring stretch, side bends, a pigeon stretch. It's like this video here, this picture here is a pigeon stretch, one of my favorites. Helps with your hip external rotators and your glutes. This is a great one to help release a lot of issues. But don't worry if you're not super flexible like this picture here. But it just takes time, but it can definitely help relieve a lot of issues. Okay. And unilateral exercises. This one deals. So for most of us, I would say all of us, we all deal with one aspect of our bodies being stronger than the other. That's when unilateral exercises will come into play. Right? They're designed to work and isolate muscles on one side of the body at a time. Right? If left unchecked, the potential consequences of these imbalances are major. Okay, these muscles on the stronger side can fall victim to overuse injury. I mean, I can be detested that. I mean, that's happened to me several times, especially throughout my boxing amateur career. Like I've dealt with a lot of repetitive issues, especially because it's a one side dominant sport. And I'm always dealing with issues with my right shoulder or my right lower back. So I have to really balance that out. Okay. So the next solution is strengthening those weak muscles. Right. The saying is true. If you don't use it, you lose it. Right. The solution is simple. Strengthen your muscles that get the least attention at the gym, right? That's weakened by your lifestyle habits or from an old injury, right? So, for example, you emphasize your biceps to get bigger and stronger, but don't place much effort in your triceps, right? This can make your elbow shoulder joint vulnerable to injury, like tendonitis of some kind. All right, so you want to make sure that you target those muscles that get the least amount of tension. So like go back to the roll it forward, the roll forward shoulders, right? So the weak muscles there are your back muscles and your retractors, right? Those are the muscles that need to get stimulated in order to help with pulling your shoulders back and maintaining the integrity of your posture, right? So that's just another example, all right? So strengthen those weak muscles. So bottom line, you're in control of your body. Okay, there are many aspects in our lives that affect these imbalances, like having a dominant side, certain lifestyle habits, such as sleeping on one side of our body consistently, crossing your legs with the same way every day, always carrying your tote bag on one side, or shifting your weight on one side of your hip, or can all be contributing factors that lead to imbalances on your right and left side over a period of time. Right? The key to minimizing this is awareness, right? And implementing these solutions every single day. And I can't stress this enough, right? Being aware of these imbalances and issues is very, very crucial to help prevent these from getting worse, right? It's when we ignore it and just blame it on, oh, I just slept on the wrong side of the bed, or I've always been tight, right? Those are just excuses. You just have to take those small steps. Like I mentioned earlier, focus on one or two exercises that's going to help, balance everything out. All right, it's going to help focus on the main issue. Because the more you pay attention to it, the more you're going to naturally notice those things when you not really have to think so hard on it. Like, oh, I'm in a bad position. Let me readjust my hip and my pelvis where I'm sitting. Like, oh, let me go and stand for a little while. Right, things like that. Oh, they make me perform some shoulder mobility while I'm standing or sitting here for waiting for this person to respond, or whatever that may be. All right, but it's having that awareness is key to make sure you take the appropriate steps to preventing preventing your issues from getting worse. All right. But when it comes down to it, when you're in doubt or in pain, seek professional help. Right. In some cases, you may need help from a chiropractor, a massage therapist, or an acupuncturist. Okay. So if you're looking for, if you have a chiropractor, then the adjustments is always great to have to make sure, because your joints tend to get compressed over a period of time. Rather, if you realize it or not, they do. Or if you have a chiropractor who's certified in ART, which is active release technique, is a sure way to help break any muscle tissues and freeing them up from all the inflammatory within the tissue, the inflammation in the tissue, so that way you can break it up so you have smoother movements without any issues or irritability, right? Or those tissue stimulators, right? Those are also a great toy to play with to help with freeing your muscles and allowing total range of motion. All right, and of course, a massage therapist for a nice deep tissue release, or Thai massage, or whatever that works, whatever you find most beneficial and enjoyable. And of course, like I said, acupuncture for more like cupping and improving energy flow. But these are all great to implement and seek some help whenever it's needed. Okay. And that's pretty much it for today. If you have any questions, let me know. Bring them to the weekly coaching calls, or you can comment below this video. If you find anything useful, let me know in the comments below what you took away from this video, and I'll be glad to hear if you guys soaking up any of this information. All right, thank you, and we'll see you on the next video.